Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for December 7, 2023. And in the news this evening, thieves reportedly steal laptops from SSL. Several laptops were reportedly stolen from the offices of Stocks and Securities Limited on Hope Road on Wednesday night. The news understands that thieves allegedly broke into the premises and ransacked the office before making off with the computers. Investigations into the incident are currently underway. The investment firm is at the center of a multi-million US dollar fraud probe affecting more than 200 accounts. Evidence now shows that there are over 200 affected accounts and a staggering amount exceeding US $30 million attributed to fraud and other irregularities related to clients' funds. Despite the numerous appeals and the direct means of communication, the Financial Investigations Division has only received 23 official statements from affected individuals and entities, FID said in a recent statement, adding that the investigations transcend national boundaries, with inquiries extending beyond Jamaica. SSL has been under the temporary management of the Financial Services Commission since January after fraud allegations surfaced, indicating then that some 40 clients had allegedly been fleeced of a combined $3 billion from accounts. One individual, Jean Panton, has so far been charged and is to be tried in the criminal division of the Home Circuit Court. PNP, concerned over reported theft at the SSL, demands a swift action to find the perpetrators. The People's National Party has expressed their concern and the shock at the reported theft of several laptops from the offices of Stocks and Securities Limited, which is currently embroiled in a multi-billion-dollar fraud probe. The PNP said in a release on Thursday that the recent development raises critical questions about the integrity of the ongoing investigation. The opposition added that it is deeply troubled by the apparent security breach at SSL, which it believes poses a significant risk of compromising crucial information vital to the investigation. It is unacceptable that potential evidence stored within these laptops might be tampered with or destroyed, hindering the pursuit of justice, the PNP said. Opposition spokesman on finance Julian Robinson stated that Thursday's theft at SSL is profoundly unsettling, as it was revealed on Wednesday that the fraud at the financial institution has occurred on a larger scale than initially reported. Just yesterday, the Financial Investigation Division disclosed that the scale of the fraud under scrutiny was even more extensive than initially believed. Therefore, the revelation of this theft is profoundly unsettling, Robinson said. As a result, the PNP is calling for a high-level inquiry into the incident, as the party believes the theft was aimed at obstructing justice. We call upon the Financial Investigation Division to urgently implement robust security measures to safeguard all assets and information related to the SSL case. This incident underscores the urgency for heightened vigilance and reinforced protections to prevent any further compromise of the investigation, the PNP said. Moreover, we implore the Jamaica Constabulary Force to do more to ensure the preservation of the investigation's integrity. Taxpayer resources have been extensively invested in untangling the complexities of the SSL situation, and any compromise resulting from negligence or deliberate actions would be an egregious disservice to the public, Shadow Minister Robinson added. The PNP further demanded swift action to identify the perpetrators of the theft and retrieve the stolen laptops. Justice must prevail, and it is incumbent upon all relevant authorities to guarantee the sanctity of this investigation, the release concluded. This is the latest incident at a frauded SSL since allegations of the crime surfaced in January 2023. One individual, Jean Panton, has so far been charged and is to be tried in the criminal division of the Home Circuit Court. On Wednesday, she was remanded until May 2024. Policeman killed in vehicular crash in Bugwalk Gorge. A vehicular accident in the Bugwalk Gorge in the vicinity of Kent Village, St. Catherine on Thursday has resulted in the death of a policeman and the injury of another. The deceased policeman has been identified as a Constable Devon Cooper. It is reported that around 2:20 p.m., Cooper was a passenger in a Subaru motorcar driven by a colleague when it collided with a sporty utility vehicle. Both vehicles were extensively damaged. The injured parties were taken to the Linstead Hospital, where Cooper succumbed to his injuries. The St. Catherine North Traffic Department has launched an investigation into the matter. Opposition questioned sudden resignations at UHWI. Opposition spokesperson on health Dr. Maurice Guy is demanding answers regarding the reported sudden resignations of the chairman of the board of the University Hospital of the West Indies and his deputy. Guy said the opposition was extremely disturbed about a possible instability at the UHWI as the institution is critical to the national public health care system. The chairman, Win Chai Chong, and his deputy, Dr. Andre Foote, have reportedly both resigned with immediate effect, and the Guy is questioning whether the resignations could be related to the protracted recruitment of a new chief executive officer for the hospital. He is calling for the health minister, Dr. Christopher Tufton, to intervene. According to him, there was a disquiet at the hospital, and the minister's intervention was necessary to resolve the issues and to prevent any escalation which could lead to a disruption of normal hospital services. UHWI is the premier medical training institution in the Caribbean and serves a significant portion of the Jamaican population. Therefore, any issue which threatens its normal performance is disturbing to the opposition as it impacts health care delivery to the Jamaican people, he added. When the news contacted the health minister, he said he would comment on the matter following a meeting this evening. Mandatory minimum sentence is unconstitutional, says attorney. Attorney at law Valerie Nita Robertson Casey is maintaining her stance against the mandatory minimum sentences for violent crimes and weapons possession and has now added that the decision is unconstitutional. Mrs. Nita Robertson says the decision of sentencing should be left to the discretion of judges since circumstances differ. The government has said it is responding to the call from members of the public for harsher penalties to correspond to the heinous crimes being committed. But speaking with the news, the senior counsel said the decision of the government to bow to the pressure from the public has led to unfair sentences being handed down in some instances. While she supports hard sentencing where necessary, the attorney believes it is unconstitutional to tie the hands of the judiciary by mandatory sentencing. The judge must decide in the circumstances of your case, she insisted. Mrs. Nita Robertson said severe penalties in all circumstances will not deter criminals.
The layperson cannot deal with sentencing. And let me just say, I am a supporter of harsh sentencing where it is necessary. But I don't believe that the hands of the judiciary should be tied by mandatory sentencing. I believe it's unconstitutional, actually.
Oh, why do you say that? That's a strong statement.
You remember the gun court? You remember when the gun court, where you probably weren't born yet. I was. I was practicing. Okay, yes. What did the Privy Council say about mandatory sentences in what they used to call it, red fence or something like that? Yes, it's unconstitutional. The judge must decide in the circumstances of your case what the government and every government, PNP or JLP, ought to do about crime is the appropriate things that will reduce crime. The public is doing what they think they can do, which is to ask for increased sentencing. But is that going to curb crime? No. No, it's time we get real, and it's time the media starts asking for the resolutions from the government for crime.
3 men arrested on Petrojam compound remanded on gun charges. The 3 men who were arrested on the compound of the state-owned oil refinery Petrojam along Marcus Garvey Drive in St. Andrew last month were further remanded until December 13 when they appeared in the Gun Court Division of the Supreme Court on Thursday. 29-year-old Nicholas Freeman, otherwise called Nico, 23-year-old Ryan Morrison, otherwise called Alfred, and the 21-year-old Akeem Moore, otherwise called Brown Chops, are charged with possession of prohibited weapons and ammunition. The news has been informed that 3 police divisions have an interest in the men in relation to other crimes. The men are scheduled to participate in a series of identification parades. It was reported that on November 23, about 6:30 a.m., the police carried out an operation along Marcus Garvey Drive, following intelligence that men were seen lurking on the compound of the oil refinery. A blue Toyota Yaris motor car transporting the men was searched, and the 2 illegal guns along with several rounds of ammunition seized. Petrojam said the gunmen were apprehended by the police in the car park designated for contractors located outside the security checkpoint. The cops had reported that the men had been hired to kill an employee of the refinery.
Audio Jungle.